Okay, it's now been about maybe 10 minutes into it, and you can see a lot of the items are already done. It is now programming the DME. It's already programmed the junction box. You can see the only thing left is to code it. My friend next to me is banging his drums. The FRM, you can see, still needs to be programmed and coded. As we go through the list here, let's see, any of the others. And you can see the DSC still needs programming and coding. It is right now doing the DME, so I'm going to let it sit here for a few seconds here so you can just see a rough idea on the length of time that it takes. You have to excuse my unsteady hand. I'm using my phone to do this, which is not really the best. I really wanted to have a camera for it, but unfortunately this is what we're stuck with. As you can see down here, it still is showing the 000s, which will always happen. And it looks like the process is going fairly quickly. I mean, like I said, we're 10 minutes into it, and you can see the program is moving pretty fast across the DME. And you just remember, you have to maintain the proper voltage, and manufacturer requires at least 14.2 volts. Okay, so it should be right in that range. And then you can see the programming of the DME is almost complete, and it probably is going to jump to the DSC here in a minute. So we're going to let that complete itself. And you can see we're almost there, and just about finished. And now I hear the fuel pump running on the vehicle. Okay, now I hear the resetting of all the components. I heard the throttle. There we go. Now we're moving to the DSC, and you can see it's when it's highlighted like that, the program, that's actually preparing the programming for the DSC. And you can see the DME, what's left on the DME is code. So the coding is always done last. And always remember, when it goes to a process like this, you're going to have to re-establish the power windows. They're going to have to go through their relearns and things like that, which the ISTA program is pretty good about explaining it and walking you through all the different steps. We've used ISTA before, and it's worked fairly well. And you can see we still have the FRM. It's still going to need programming, and so it looks like we have the air conditioning system, which also needs another reflash. And this car, like I said, was at the dealer, and the dealer refused to reflash this vehicle based on its prior history of being in an accident. So we were then forced to do it ourselves, and this is what we're up against. And it really doesn't seem to be too difficult. As long as you follow the instructions specific, I think you will have no problems. And make sure you use a pass-through box that is acceptable to BMW standards. Then you should be okay. And as you can see, the voltage is at 14.21, and that's where it wants to be. So I'm going to hold it on here for a few more seconds just so you can get a reality on what kind of time it takes to do these modules. And it's really not taking a whole lot of time. We're now probably about, I'm going to say 18, 19, maybe 20 minutes into it. And it looks like the whole process is probably going to take about a half hour. Because the coding, it is no problem. That coding will fly right through. It's the programming that takes the length of time. Okay, I'm going to pause this, and then we'll come back to it later on and as it finishes up.